Good morning, it's your main man, MrOgDfs, and this is my slate breakdown for Friday, January 3rd, 2020. And without further ado, let's just jump right into the slate. Up top, we got Dame Lillard, 9,300, going up against the Wizards today. Dame Lillard against New York put up 36 fantasy points in 35 minutes last time, but Washington is horrible defensively. All the injury issues. Beal probably may be out today. There's a possibility of that. So with that being said, Lillard would be a great option. Russell Westbrook up top, 9,100. Got to get you, a 45 or better to hit value. I think that Russ should be able to do that. It is a tough matchup. Trae Young coming back against Boston. They're number 2 against the point guard position. I'll fade that today, but best of luck to him. Ben Simmons going up against Houston. It's a possibility to like him. However, I definitely like other options today. Dropping down, DJ Augustine has been playing hot. Last time out, put up almost 50 fantasy points. So I do want to give him some consideration today, even though it's a tough matchup against Miami. So they may need his scoring off the bench. So that's a strong possibility for Augustine today. Dropping down, with Beal potentially being out, obviously Isaiah Thomas and also Ish Smith is in play. Last 3 games, he's exceeded value or right around value or exceeded. So I definitely like Ish Smith. With Beal out. Now, there's a chance that Elf Payton might not play today. If so, the guards and Nikita Lina and Dennis Smith, but mainly Frank Nikita Lina, is in play. Last time, almost 37 fantasy points. He's real cheap, so if he's going to start, that's a strong punt play at the shooting guard position for FanDuel for GPP. Also, if Kemba Walker is out, I like Brad Wanamaker. Punt play, $3,500. When Wanamaker gets time, he actually can put up some good numbers. So he's a little inconsistent, but at 3,500, you can't beat it. So that's what I like right now at the point guard position. Moving over to shooting guard. Up top, we got James Harden, 11,100. As you see, 3 of his last 4 games, he hasn't hit 5x. So, he is hitting the 50s, but, he's not even exceeding 5x value. So, soon he'll have that big game, but, having lingering, with I believe with the injury issue and stuff with Harden against Philly, they're coming into town. They're going to need him to score a lot. So, hopefully he has a big game. However, dropping down Drew Holiday, plays in big games. They're going against the Lakers. Has been right around 5x, but hasn't quite exceeded it except once in the past 5 games. That was against Denver. But, in this small slate, he's definitely an option. Devin Booker at home against the Knicks. Tougher matchup at that price at hitting 8K. I'm not on him as much today. CJ McCollum, you got to like, the Portland guys going up against Washington. He's just 7,200. And CJ can crush value against a team like the Wizards. Now, I do like Richardson a little bit better based on his current play. He's, gotten you over 6x 3 of the last 4 times at this price or around it. So you gotta love Richardson today going up against Houston, pace up spot. I think he's the more solid, safer play. From Harden dropping down to Richardson, I'd say is the next best play. And then for a few $100s more, if Beal's out, McRae, his price tag is really gotten high. It's ridiculous. But look at the game 2 back without Beal, almost 55 fantasy points. So it's definitely warranted. I will be having him, some Jordan McRae, if Beal isn't out. Also, I have some of this guy. If Kemba's out, Marcus Smart, just $5,100 if Smart's out. If Kemba's out, Smart will instantly become one of the best plays on the slate just because of his defensive prowess going up against clumsy Atlanta at home. So I love Smart today. You want to save a little money? Josh Hart going back to LA. He's already been hitting about 4x at his current price tag. The Lakers 17th against his position. I could see him having a good day just going back home to LA for that game. And then Tyler Hero, he got 33 minutes last time against Toronto. Let's give him 33 minutes today. And he got 33 fantasy points against the Raptors. So I could see him in line to do the same against Orlando, him or Duncan Robinson. It could be interchangeable between those two. So you want to look for that. And, you know, if just because it's a smaller slate with J.J. Redick should be in play. Last game he didn't do well, but Redick, the type of guy prideful, should want to bounce back. And then here's a guy under him who I never really liked playing, Avery Bradley, but you know, they gave him 30 minutes, stepped his minutes up. He put up almost 34 fantasy points against Phoenix. He was 4-11 from the field. He's not going to do that every day. However, you know, if they're going to give him that run, he should be in consideration. Now, last time I played Gary Payton II, when Bill was out, he was $5,300, and he put up 21 fantasy points. Today, he's $3,800. He's perfect price point. Gary Payton Jr. will be one of my favorite plays on the slate if our boy is out. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely like Gary Payton Jr. to do good if Bill is out, and to at least hit value. He may not crush it because Matthews, they've been giving him time. We'll get there in a second. KCP could potentially bounce back today. Other than that last game, he struggled against Phoenix. They gave Bradley more run, but if they even everything out, then I would definitely, that's why I'm going to take some KCP. Now, Reggie Bullock, first game back, if you want to get away from that Lakers stuff with Peyton being out. If Peyton is out, I forgot Reggie Bullock is a strong play. He should do a lot better. Just 15 minutes, put up almost 14 fantasy points last time against Portland, first game back. So you got to consider that as well. And then you got to go look at Garrison Matthews. Garrison Matthews would be out 31 fantasy points at same price, men price, 9x against Miami. So if he could do that 9x against Miami, full run, you know, obviously he should be able to do the same against Portland. So I definitely can see big things for Matthews. So I wanted to cover as much as I could in the shooting guard position today. And let's get over to small forward. Up top, LeBron James, 11-4 against New Orleans. Love LeBron today. LeBron, it seems like he's fine from any potential injury issues. So with that, I love him at his price point. Definitely will be having a lot of him today. Brandon Ingram going back up against the Lakers. You know, dollar for dollar, he might be a better play or just as good, if not a better play than LeBron. So you definitely want to consider Ingram today. Jaylen Brown coming back from injury. From being sick, I believe. So, you know, I usually give guys a game coming off being sick, but considering if Kemba doesn't play, all the usage going around, I like Jaylen. However, I probably like Gordon Hayward a little better. But before I get to Gordon, let me give a shout out to Oubre. He did his thing against the Lakers last time, almost 46 fantasy points. They raised his price just $2, but $200, but at the same time, he still would have crushed value even at this price. So I like Oubre against the Knicks at home. Gotta like that high usage type matchup for Oubre. And then Gordon Hayward getting you almost a 40 ball last time with no Kemba. I could see Gordon Hayward doing great. I mean, crushing against the Hawks. Tobias Harris, point per minute player, hasn't been doing good as of the last two games, but should be able to get back to normal against Houston, 29th against the small forward. If you want to try Melo again off the Knicks momentum game, you can go. He's only 6K. He exceeded value last time, so you have a chance there. On the other side of the ball, Troy Brown, without Beal being there, should be able to have a good game. He didn't do as good the last time Beal wasn't there, but, you know, struggled against Miami, but he's definitely in play. Derrick Jones, because of his consistency with his minutes and everything, without anything changing, I mean, he's getting you 5 and 6x every game. So at the small forward position for a punt play, if you want to go some LeBron or Derrick Jones, something of that nature, that's cool. Don't forget about E'Twaun Moore. 25 minutes against Houston, 10 for 20 shots last time. 37 fantasy points. You probably want to throw E'Twaun in there, especially if New Orleans and the other guards are struggling to make shots. Then, you know, E'Twaun is a solid play. Mikal Bridges, you know, 2 back against Portland, had a good game, almost 27 fantasy points. With the current rotation they got in Phoenix, I would say that, you know, he should still be in play for GPP. And that is currently what I like at the small forward position. Moving over to power forward. Up top, we got AD, $10,400. Thing about AD is that if you look at his last 4 games, he has barely exceeded 4x value. Obviously, I think that's because of the injury, the shoulder that he's dealing with. So it's rough. I mean, if there's a spot he's going to do good today, it'd be against his former team. So you got to think AD should be up for this game. So even though he's got injury issues, I could see him getting over a 50. Maybe not more over it, but I definitely could see him getting a 50 ball. But he's got to be in play because it's going against the Pels. He's got to be in play. However, if you feel that he's going to continue to have an injury issue, which, you know, in my mind, I kind of feel like it may take a little while for him to get right. But I like Jason Tatum with today as maybe a better play than AD with no Kemba already in the 40s in value. His price has come up over 8K, but it's warranted with no Kemba. Still should be a solid play. Julius Randle is just playing out of, world out of his world right now. 6, 7x every game out. Julius Randle's a monster right now, and he's in the flow. Love him today. Derek Favors, 6,200. Want to save some money on all those guys? Favors is getting you in the 30s and 40s, over 5, 6, and 7x value. So I love him today. Collins is in play, but tough matchup against Boston, but I could still see him putting up huge numbers. So I want to throw a shout out to him. The production from AD, I feel, is being spread to Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma, 3 of his last 4, 8x, 6x, almost 6x last game against Phoenix. Love Kyle Kuzma. Isaiah Hartenstein still got run against Denver, 18 minutes. They put up 34 fantasy points. That man, that's a sign that a man wants to play. He wants to be a part of the rotation. Hartenstein, at his price point, they'll need him against Philly today. Tough matchup, so I think Hartenstein may really prove himself today, so that's why I consider him in play. Drop down Tice, I don't like him as much, but because his price point, he's in play against Atlanta. They're 26 against power forward. I could see him dominating them. So that is currently what I like at the power forward position. Through analysis, let's move over to center. At the center position up top, it's crazy. Hassan Whiteside, 9,300 is exceeding value for you, so he's definitely in play today against Washington. He should just have his way. Embiid should be returning. Tough matchup against Houston. Actually, obviously, we know Embiid should always be the better play than a Whiteside, but Whiteside has tremendous upside because of the fact that they're playing Washington, so it kind of evens itself out. However, either play, nothing wrong with it. Now, dropping down, tons of potential here. DeAndre Ayton put up almost 40 ball, over 5x last time against the Lakers. I didn't even see him being able to do that, so I'm proud of him doing that against the Lakers. Coming up against the Knicks should be a favorable matchup for him, so I like him at 7,500. Enes Kanter without Kemba, basically all of Boston pretty much in play. Kanter, a 50 ball, 10x last time against Charlotte. Can't just ignoring their 18th Atlanta against the center position. So you got to like him today. Alex Len on the other side of the ball. Last time on the 29th of December, 35 fantasy points against Orlando. Got to like Alex Len coming back as well. Bobby Portis, last time I played him, he got me almost 25 fantasy points. I cashed with Portis. My best lineup had him in it this day. So, I love Portis again, coming back again against Phoenix. Baines is, potentially in play. Throw out his last game against the Lakers. Obviously, he struggled against their strong front court, but the other 3 games prior, he was in the 20s, exceeding value, getting you over 5x. Finally, JaVale McGee, just with his block prowess, 3 blocks. He's had 3 blocks or better 3 of his past 4 games. So because of that, JaVale McGee has got to be in play at just 4K from a GPP perspective. So that is the current slate breakdown for FanDuel for Friday, January 3rd, 2019. It's your man, MrOgDfs. Make sure you like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Any comments or questions, feel free to do so. And good luck today in DFS. Make sure you stay on top of all the updates. And let's make some money today. Have a great day. Peace.